Hello, welcome to class this month. To hang or to hold? So in this month's classes, you will see, if you're doing the mat and reformer, if you're doing all the classes, that we're going to play with different spring settings for things, so you can see how you might be hanging out or holding it together. And so in this month, I will be picking some exercises where we play with the springs, and we might go lighter. We might do a no spring. So you can see like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be working, so that you're not just hanging out in yourself. All right, so let's get started. Let's start with 3 springs or 4 springs, heavy springs on, and we're gonna do 5 of each footwork. All right, lying on your back, heels together, toes apart. Take a deep breath in and just letting your heart sink down, your arms press down, and then as you're ready, press it out and bend it in. So as you're going out and in, just notice if you are letting the springs bring you in. That's a question you'll be able to answer more when we go onto a different spring setting. And then come onto your arches and do 5 here. Again, trying to pull the spring in. So one of the things I like to do to make sure I'm not hanging out and letting the springs do it is that I put my feet more on the top of the foot bar, and this makes me have to kind of pull myself in. And then when I push, I'm not just dropping my heels down. And then come onto those heels and press out and in. So inner heel pushes onto that foot bar. Arms are pressing down. This is the easiest one to quad out and ride the springs in. Come onto the balls of your feet, press out, and then lower the heels and lift the heels. 5 times. You only go as low. We talk about this every month, every week. Heels only go as low as they can stay together, so that you aren't just hanging out down there. Go ahead and just let yourself hang out. Do you feel the difference? That feels good, but does it feel strong? No. It doesn't. It doesn't. Let's be really honest. It doesn't feel strong, but it feels good. And then come all the way in. Sit on up. Go down to 1 spring. Lie back down 5 times. You're on 1 spring, so don't go powering through like it's 4. That's a sign that you are not working with your equipment. Right? If you act like it's got 4 springs when it only has 1, well, you're going to go flying. And then onto those arches. Do you feel the difference? Do you feel how much more your core, like your entire center, works with you to bring you home? And then onto your heels. And now you really have to work with your spring, have your entire body working together to pull you in. Last 3. And 2, and 1. All right, come onto the balls of your feet for that tendon stretch, press out. And because there's not a heavy spring here, it is a lot easier to lower and lift those heels. And then without hanging out, isn't it? All right, come all the way in. Now come back up. Add those springs back on, and I want you to do 2 in each, taking that 1 spring connection into your 3 to 4 spring connections. Ready? Out and in. 1, 2, and then onto your arches. 1 and 2, and then onto your heels. Wow, it feels so different. It feels heavier than when I started. All right, back onto the balls of the feet. Do you feel like, oh, everything is working? Good. After 2 tendon stretch, take your foot bar down, grab your handles. All right, lift your head and chest up for your 100. I'm not going to make you do that for the 100. But just double check that your legs aren't hanging off your lower back. So go up with the legs and go down with the legs. And up with the legs and down with the legs. As you pump your arms until you find the spot where it's the hardest amount of work that you can hold on to. 2 more cycles of breathing. And lower the legs, lift the arms, teaser on up. Go down to 2 springs. I'm going to do some overhead. You can do coordination if you like What I want us to focus on here is that we just don't let the legs hang down into the well. So arms down, legs over, up to the sky, and then roll the spine down. And again, arms down, legs reach, lift it up, and then lower. So when those legs go over, they're reaching behind you. They're not reaching for the floor. And roll it down into that coordination press out. Open, close, just 3 of these. Should feel like you're pushing into those 3 to 4 heavy springs. So your legs are working, they're not pulling your lower back off the carriage. And rest. Sit on up, spin around. Okay, rowing. So for the first 2, we're gonna be on 1 heavy spring. And where I want you to focus on not hanging is the second part where you just let the arms circle around and then the chest drops. So we're gonna play with that. Knuckles together, shoulders on your back, round it back, open the arms, press, dive your head in, reach your hands for the springs, and now right here, for the first one, just let your arms circle around kind of lazily. Okay, you feel that? Is that what you do? Round back, no, not you. Not an OPC member, reach it back. Now, how high can you lift your arms? Go higher, go wider. Reach all the way out to the sides, you flip your palms. Reach forward, do not touch anything. And then round forward a little bit more and roll up. All right, feel how there's a difference? There's a way to just hang out, or you can hold this reach, hold this lift of the ribs. And again, round it back, open, press, dive forward, and lift and reach, and lift and reach, and lift and reach, and lift and reach. Woo! Okay, elbows up, lean it back, reach forward. Are you still reaching? Or are you hanging out? Did you just drop? The slacks get strap. The straps got slack. Flip and press. They will eventually, but when they do, you might not even notice because you're reaching. You're holding the reach so much you don't even notice that the straps are slack. You're not even looking for that. One more. Over and lift. Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna play a little bit. Ready? So straight legs, 2 springs on. So if you're working with weighted springs, 2 red ideally, or a red green even. All right, you got heavy springs like me? Well, good luck, here we go. Squeeze those legs together, point the feet, reach forward, lower the arms, lift the arms, and circle. You feel how you don't even get to fling your arms around there? Because if you do, these springs are gonna boss you around. So all that we're doing one more time with these heavy springs is just seeing where, ooh, maybe I've been hanging out the whole time. So now, drop a spring off. Maybe move a little bit away from your shoulder blocks. And then reach, lower the arms, lift the arms up, and open wide to the side. Can you get that same work from your center with a lighter spring? Yes, you can. Check you out. Okay, add that second spring back. Round forward, flex the ankles, slide those hands out, reach, 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 lift up, hold on to it. Don't let the springs push you around. That felt different than it normally does? It will if you've been letting the springs and ropes do all the work. All right, now toss a spring off. Okay, hands by your hips, round forward. Can you get that same work where your center has to hold on to everything as you circle those arms around? And again, reach up and lift. Oh, feels so good. Okay, let's just get a yummy shave and hug in. So press those fingertips together. Make that diamond shape, 3 to 5 shaves here. Pushing those feet down, lifting up your heart. And then switch the cross, open and close. Good. Okay. Hook up those handles. So 2 springs. If you want to do the big swan and you promise you're not going to hang out over the box and then hang out into your lower back, please do that on your own. I'm going to do some Swan Prep because this is a great spot where a lot of us like to hang out. We're like, oh,